Hi, this is Didi. Today we're going to make pastry for pie crusts. It's very easy to do by hand. You don't need to use a machine. We're going to start with 2 cups of flour, all-purpose. If you want it to be sweet, you can add a couple of tablespoons of sugar for the pie crust for a dessert. Then you're going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. This is Himalayan Pink salt, fine grain. I like to use that, or gray sea salt, fine grain, because it dissolves easily. So just mix it around. You can use a whisk if you want, or your hands, because you'll be using your hands anyway. If you want to use this pie crust for quiche or something savory, I would leave the sugar out. And now here comes the 2 sticks of butter. Put that in and coat them with the flour. Then you're going to press them together with your thumb and index finger to flatten the butter and flour together. You can do this with one of those pastry cutters or just by hand. Just smush it around a little bit until it's nice and mixed and they're all nice and flat. That will help create all the nice layers of flakiness if you have the butter nice and flat. Then after it's done, you want to add your water. We're going to do it right in the bowl, and then after we add the water, we'll dump it out on the counter and bring it together a little bit with our hands. Now we're ready to add our water. I put a little ice cube into 6 tablespoons of water to keep it nice and cool. We'll just pour that in the middle, and you want to bring the outsides into the center. This is going to be messy and scraggly, but it'll all come together in the end. You want to take the heel of your hand and do just a few little kneads in the bowl. Then you want to put it on the counter, and you can do a couple of more kneads on the counter, just a few gentle ones. A very handy tool to have and use when you're making pastry is a pastry scraper. It's also called a bench scraper. It can really keep your hands off of the dough, especially if you have warm hands. You can also, if you don't have a bench scraper, you can use a metal spatula. It's very handy, just one solid piece of metal that doesn't have holes in it, or if it does, that's fine too. You want the dough to stay cool as long as you can, and depending upon where you live, it can get kind of hot. I've brought it all together and I'm forming it into sort of a circle square. Then you want to make sure you can turn it over and keep doing the same thing on the other side. Just make sure it's a nice circle-y square shape. This is for a 2-crust pie, so you're going to want to cut it into 2 pieces. One will be for the top and one will be for the bottom. At this point, you need to chill it for a minimum of a half an hour to an hour before you can roll it out. You want to rest the gluten so that your dough isn't tough. Wrap it in plastic and let it rest in the fridge. So that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.